Nairi, Tower of Shirin is a game that basically has cuteness overload, as you saw with that previous hand-drawn animation cutscene. The game was on Kickstarter and it's finally coming out, and the developers are kind enough to give me a press key to look at. And while the game definitely has charm to it, I ran into a few quality of life issues that we'll talk about later on that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But the story is we play as Nairi here, who, this mysterious girl, lives in a world that apparently animals are not only on bipedal, but they have conversations. There's apparently duck gangs, and we were friends with a bandit gang made out of cats, as you saw at the beginning. And Nairi had to flee the city here when her parents were abducted by the royal guards. And now she's come back to try and figure out what's going on and hopefully save her family. And to do that, she will be getting into some adventure game related shenanigans, with all the staples, combining various objects, figuring out esoteric solutions to weird puzzles, and of course talking to a lot of people. Now, obviously, what I'm showing you will be spoiling things no matter how well we edit things, so this video will be on the short side. But the game itself is played through these still images, with characters kind of moving or being animated when they're on screen. Nairi does not show up in the actual game space, like we see in adventure games like Maniac Mansion, Thimbleweed Park, etc. I found the transition from screen to screen being a little bit slow for my taste, but I think that may be, opinions may vary. As you explore, you'll be finding all manner of items which you will have to combine and solve the puzzles. The game itself is more on the classic adventure style, meaning that it is very much a linear tale. You're going to have to solve the puzzles in the correct order with the items that you'll find or receive in order to get to the next bit of story. And the game is a bit exposition heavy at the start, as a bit of a warning there. But, like I said, the game has a great look to it. I love, again, this kind of hand-drawn animation that some developers make use of, like what we saw with Bad Dream Fever. However, the problem that I have with Nairi comes down to what I like to call like a quality of life sin. And we'll get to that next, but first, a quick word to our Patreon supporters. And now a quick shout out to the supporters over on patreon.com/GWBycer. Where Nairi lost me came at, I guess, one of its quote-unquote big puzzles, which, unfortunately, I'm going to have to spoil part of it to show it off. But this is a puzzle that requires you to make use of multiple items. And it sounds great in theory, except for one big problem. The game does not show you any of the hotspots that you need to interact with. Now, for those of you who don't know what the term, a hotspot is basically a point of interest that items can be used or you can inspect, things along those lines. So my problem is that I have all the parts I need to solve this puzzle. The problem is I don't know what the game wants me to do where and in what order to actually figure it out. And this is horrible puzzle design, horrible UI as well. Because nothing is more frustrating than knowing what you need to do, but the game is outright refusing to let you solve the puzzle. And what makes this all the more damning is that this is essentially a quality of life issue. Now, in about a second or so, I'm going to get very fed up and I'm going to use the spoil journal that the game gives you as kind of the hint system. So here it goes, and this tells me nothing because I already knew what the game wanted me to do. But my problem is that because the game is not showing me the information that I need, I don't know what I'm missing. And here's me trying to frantically combine objects, adventure game style, to figure it out. And this is unfortunately not good design. Because, like I said, I know what needs to be done. The game flat out tells you, but because of the UI and the presentation, it's not giving me what I need. Okay, so here again, I need to find something to hold the shovel. Okay then, so what does that mean? Well, we could tie some rope to it, but no, we can't do that. So now it's telling me to drill a hole. So this is when I got the idea. But watch right there. If you saw, I'm going to do it again. And look at that. There is no reason why that first drill use shouldn't have worked. And still, even though I'm trying to do what the game wants me to do, it's still not working. And this is why it's important to show players hotspots or giving them some indication as to where these items are supposed to go. So right now, again, I don't know what the game wants me to do. Does it want me to attach the rope? Does it want me to use something for the shovel? I don't know, and before anyone asks, I've already explored all the areas within the game space that are open to me, so there aren't any items left that I could find, unless there's something very much hidden in the environment. And this is where my play ended of Nairi Tower of Shirin. And that's not good, because everything about this game has charm to it. I'm generally interested to see how the story unfolds. But unfortunately, due to some UI issues, I can't finish this game. Why can't we get past a simple puzzle that I know what the solution is? And this, my friends, is a great example of how playtesting and quality of life additions can make or break a game. I'm sure there are people who have figured things out. Maybe they clicked around enough times to get those lucky hotspots found. But I don't have the time to sit around and play with this. Here, again, I'm trying to MacGyver the UI to figure out the solution, and it's not working. So I'm just going to go to some other footage to wrap up this video. So again, it's not a bad game. It's quite a delightful looking game, but if they don't fix that issue, I think a lot of people are going to get fed up with it. Now, keep in mind, I'm playing a press key before the game was released, so there is a very possibility, or there's a very good possibility that when the game is released, people will complain about it, and they may patch it in. But again, as we always say, I can't review or critique a game on what could happen. I can only look at what's in it right now. Now, unfortunately, for right now, I have to give this game a thumbs down because I can't solve a puzzle that I already know the solution to. But with that said, we're going to wrap things up here. So thank you so much for watching this first look at Nairi Tower of Shirin. It should be out by the time this video goes up. Again, I would like to thank the developers for giving me a press key. And if you'd like me to tickle your game in the future, please don't hesitate to get in touch. But otherwise, check back for daily discussions on game design here and on game wisdom where we some of the art and science of games. And if you'd like to get mentioned on our Patreon thank you page, check out patreon.com/JoshBycer. But until next time, this has once again been Nairi Tower of Shirin. Until then, take care. If you're looking for another book about game design, be sure to check out my first title, 20 Essential Games to Study, out now. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed things, be sure to do all the liking and subscribing that the kids are doing these days. Check out our Discord channel link down below where we hang out and chat game design, and come back later tonight for our regular streamings. But that's it, and tune in for more great content here and on Game Wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games.